The K-class locomotives were built for general purpose and branch line duties on the Victorian railways. They have a wheel arrangement of 280 and a total weight of 106 tonnes. The overall length is 60 feet or 18 metres and a maximum permissible speed of 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometres per hour. One of the features of this video, you'll see people old and new alongside the track, filming the train as it goes past, some even waving. Here's a single track splits for two track work into Melbourne. The locals here are pretty artistic. Look at that. The Mernda line is a commuter railway line in the city of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. It's currently operated by Metro Trains in Melbourne and it's the city's 8th longest metro railway line at 33.1 kilometres in length. Here the line is elevated as part of the Victorian Government's level crossing removal project. The electrification for the line is 1500 volts DC overhead. In 2012 the line was extended from Epping to South Morang and then extended on to Mernda in August 2018. Here's some of the concrete walls along the line, retaining walls of course, awaiting local artists. The weather for the trip was quite a balmy winter's day for Melbourne in late May. Overcast, a few patches of blue sky, but balmy temperature this time of the year, 15 degrees. At least there was no rain. Type carriages that we're riding in on this trip were wooden express passenger carriages used on the railways of Victoria, Australia. They were originally introduced by Victorian Railways for the interstate service between Melbourne, Sydney and Adelaide, and they remained in regular service for over 85 years for the entire Victorian Railways network. There are 5 of these in the consist for this trip. There's old K190 chugging around the bend on the downgrade to an overpass. Note the fuel tanks on the right. The local artists, they're pretty creative and resourceful. They'll paint on anything. No canvas required. The bike path and walking track is a feature along the line between Mernda and South Morang. You often see kids there riding their bikes, people walking, and photographing the train of course. Going the other way is one of Melbourne's metro trains. on the upline to Mernda. See the dark brown objects hanging on some of the stanchions there? They're counterweights, and they're used to keep the overhead power lines tight. Even though today steam power is no longer used for vehicle propulsion, steam is still often used in nuclear power stations, coal-fired power stations and others. I don't know if you've noticed, but the rails are laid across what are called concrete sleepers. Now traditionally they used to be made of red gum, but they found that after many years the red gum rotted, so it was more economical to replace them with concrete. The rails themselves are 5 foot 3 inches apart, or 1.6 metres, and is known as broad gauge. Until 2012, Epping was the end of the line, and as such had a lot of train storage and maintenance infrastructure, as you'll see as we go past. And here's a totally enamoured railway employee trudging along on her way to work. Smile! You'll notice the distinctive blue livery of the metro trains. You'll also see the large number of tracks in the railway yards. Childs Road, that we're crossing here, is an interconnecting link between High Street Epping and Plenty Road in Mill Park. More train video, folks, not just mine. See the earthworks on the side of the line there? I'll describe what that's about in a minute. Thomastown Station was first built in 1889, and in 2010 it was rebuilt with a second platform and a pedestrian overpass. The bridge we're about to pass under is the Western Ring Road. It connects the northeastern suburbs of Melbourne with the southern suburbs of Melbourne via Geelong Road, the Westgate Bridge and CityLink. Note the web of wires above. They're from the Keon Park Power substation that's used to power the Mernda line. They're going to build one in a Reservoir to increase the power capacity to the line to enable more trains to run on the timetable. Keon Parade. Returning to those earthworks mentioned previously, one of the Victorian Government's major infrastructure projects is its level crossing removal project. The aim of the level crossing removal works is to reduce the number of accidents and also to increase efficiency of traffic flow. You can see along this stretch of the line that people can get up close and personal with the train, get some awesome pics and video. Ahead you can see the beginning of the raised section of the line leading into Reservoir Station. This elevated section continues to well past Preston. Note the banked up traffic below. When this was a level crossing, you could in peak hour be waiting at least half an hour for peak hour trains going both ways. It was crazy. Train not taking passengers, stand clear, it's returning to Mernda.